Welcome to Lucky English for Beginners. Learning a new language is a great journey, and knowing how to make polite requests is a wonderful way to improve your confidence. Here are 300 sentences to help you ask for things politely in English, carefully organized by category so you can study and improve your communication skills. Asking for favors from friends and family. Could you please pass the salt? Would you mind helping me with these bags? Can you do me a quick favor? I was wondering if you could feed the cat. Could you turn the television down a little bit, please? Do you think you could give me a ride to the airport? Would you be so kind as to open the window? Can you please close the door behind you? I would really appreciate it if you could wash the dishes. Could you wake me up at 7 tomorrow morning? Would you mind picking up some milk on your way home? Can you lend me your pen for a moment? Could you hold this for a second, please? Would you please help me fold the laundry? I need a little help setting the table if you do not mind. Could you check the mail for me today? Do you have a moment to help me move this sofa? Would you mind keeping an eye on the kids for an hour? Could you please water the plants while I am on vacation? Can you grab my jacket from the other room? Would you please turn off the lights when you leave? Could you let the dog out into the yard? I would love it if you could cook dinner tonight. Can you please remind me to call my mother later? Would you mind sharing your umbrella with me? Could you please pass me the remote control? Can you help me look for my lost keys? Would you be able to pick the kids up from school today? Could you take the trash out this evening? Please be a dear and pour me a cup of coffee. Requesting help at work. Could you possibly review this report for me? Would you mind sending me that email again? I would appreciate it if you could finish this by Friday. Could you please print these documents for the meeting? Would you be able to cover my shift on Tuesday? Can you show me how to use the new software? I was hoping you could give me some feedback on my presentation. Could you please forward the calendar invitation to me? Would you mind keeping your voice down while I am on a call? Could we schedule a brief meeting for tomorrow afternoon? Please send me the files at your earliest convenience. Would you be so kind as to sign this form? Could you double-check the numbers on this spreadsheet? I would be grateful if you could assist me with this project. Can you please let the client know that I am running late? Would you mind taking notes during today's staff meeting? Could you please explain this procedure to me once more? Do you think you could have this ready by the end of the day? Could you please organize the files in the cabinet? Would it be possible to get an extension on this deadline? Can you help me prepare the conference room? I would appreciate a quick response to my previous message. Could you please update the team on your progress? Would you mind drafting an email to the supplier? Can you please hold my calls for the next hour? Could you order some more printer paper for the office? Would you be available to mentor the new intern? Please make sure to lock the office doors when you leave. Could you pass this message along to the manager? I would kindly request a few days off next month. Asking for directions and information. Excuse me, could you tell me where the nearest train station is? Would you mind pointing me in the right direction? Could you please help me find this address on the map? Can you tell me how to get to the airport from here? Would you happen to know where the closest pharmacy is? Could you please let me know what time the museum opens? Excuse me, do you know if this bus goes to the city center? Can you please tell me how much this ticket costs? Would you mind showing me the way to the restroom? Could you give me some information about the local tour? I was wondering if you could recommend a good restaurant nearby. Can you tell me where I can find a taxi stand? Could you please explain how the ticket machine works? Excuse me, do you have the current time? Would you mind telling me how far the hotel is from here? Could you please write down the name of that street for me? Can you confirm if this is the right platform for the express train? Would you be able to tell me where the elevator is located? Excuse me, could you point out where we are on this map? Can you please let me know when we reach the next stop? Could you direct me to the nearest automated teller machine? Would you mind helping me figure out this subway schedule? Can you tell me if there is a grocery store around here? Could you please share the wireless internet password with me? Excuse me, do you know where the lost and found office is? Would you happen to have a spare map I could use? Could you tell me the best way to get back to the main highway? Can you please let me know if this area is safe to walk at night? Would you mind explaining the parking rules in this neighborhood? Excuse me, could you help me locate the visitor's center? Requesting items in a store or restaurant. May I please have a glass of water? Could you show me where the fitting rooms are? Would you mind bringing us the dessert menu? Can I get a box to take this food home, please? Could you please check if you have this shirt in a medium? Would it be possible to get the dressing on the side? Can you ring these items up for me, please? Could I please get a receipt for this purchase? Would you mind bagging these items separately? Can you please point me to the shoe department? Could you bring some extra napkins to our table? I would like to order the chicken salad, please. Could you please wrap this up as a gift? Would you be able to hold this item for me until tomorrow? Can you please tell me if this item is on sale? Could we get the check whenever you have a moment? Would you mind wiping down this table for us? Can I please speak to the store manager? Could you refill my coffee, please? Would it be possible to return this item without a receipt? Can you please help me reach that item on the top shelf? Could you tell me the price of this display item? Would you mind double-checking the price on the register? Can you please bring out a high chair for the baby? Could I get this coffee to go, please? Would you be so kind as to give me some extra ketchup? Can you please let me know if this dish contains peanuts? Could you heat this up for me just a little bit? Would you mind taking a photo of us at this table? Can I please get a different fork because this one is dirty? Asking for permission. Do you mind if I sit here? Would it be all right if I left work a few minutes early today? May I use your restroom, please? Is it okay if I borrow your phone to make a quick call? Do you mind if I open the window to let some fresh air in? Would it bother you if I turned on the radio? May I please have a moment to speak with you privately? Is it all right if I bring a guest to the party? Do you mind if I take a look at your newspaper? Would it be possible for me to take a day off next week? May I please be excused from the dinner table? Is it okay if I leave my bags here for a few minutes? Do you mind if I join you for lunch today? Would you mind if I asked you a personal question? May I please see your identification? Is it all right if we postpone our meeting until tomorrow? Do you mind if I change the television channel? Would it be okay if I paid you back next week? May I please take a brochure from the front desk? Is it possible for me to get an extension on this assignment? Do you mind if I take a quick coffee break? Would it be all right if I recorded this lecture for my notes? May I step out of the room to take this phone call? Is it okay if I pet your dog? Do you mind if I borrow this book once you are finished reading it? Would it bother you if I took off my jacket? May I have your permission to share this information with the team? Is it all right if I try on this sweater? Do you mind if I eat my lunch at my desk today? Would it be okay if we wrapped up this conversation a bit later? Requesting someone to change their behavior. Could you please lower your voice? I would appreciate it if you did not smoke here. Would you mind not parking in my driveway? Could you please take your shoes off before walking on the carpet? I kindly request that you turn your music down. Would you mind cleaning up your dishes after eating? Could you please stop tapping your pen on the desk? I would be grateful if you could arrive on time tomorrow. Would you mind not interrupting me while I am speaking? Could you please put your phone on silent during the movie? I would really appreciate it if you knocked before entering. Would you mind keeping the shared workspace tidy? Could you please avoid using foul language in front of the children? I ask that you please respect my privacy in this matter. Would you mind chewing with your mouth closed? Could you please give me a little more personal space? I would appreciate it if you did not leave the door open. Would you mind throwing your trash in the bin? Could you please stop kicking the back of my seat? I kindly ask you to return the items exactly where you found them. Would you mind lowering the brightness on your screen in this dark room? Could you please wait for your turn in the line? I would appreciate it if you used headphones to listen to that video. Would you mind keeping your dog on a leash? Could you please refrain from talking during the performance? I would be thankful if you could replace the toilet paper roll. Would you mind wiping your feet on the mat before coming inside? Could you please pay attention to the presentation? I would appreciate it if you did not text while driving. Would you mind moving your bags off the empty seat? Asking for clarification and repetition. Could you please repeat what you just said? Would you mind speaking a little slower, please? I am sorry, could you explain that one more time? Could you please spell your last name for me? Would you be able to write that down for me? Can you please clarify what you mean by that statement? Could you give me an example to help me understand? Would you mind saying that again a bit louder? Could you please confirm the date and time of our appointment? I did not quite catch that. Could you repeat the number? Would you be so kind as to elaborate on your previous point? Can you please walk me through the instructions again? Could you rephrase that in simpler terms, please? Would you mind summarizing the main idea for me? Can you please point out where that is written in the document? Could you run those figures by me one more time? Would you please show me how to do that step by step? Can you repeat the address for me, please? Could you please verify the spelling of the email address? I missed the first part. Would you mind starting over? Can you please explain the reasoning behind this decision? Could you briefly go over the rules once more? Would you be able to provide a bit more context? Can you please translate that phrase into English for me? Could you clarify the difference between these two options? Would you mind demonstrating how the machine works again? Can you please remind me of your name? Could you repeat the question, please? Would you please explain what is expected of me in this role? Can you tell me once more what I need to bring to the meeting? Making formal written requests. I would be grateful if you could reply at your earliest convenience. Please let me know if you need any further information. I kindly request that you review the attached document. Would you please forward this email to the appropriate department? I would appreciate it if you could process this invoice quickly. Please confirm receipt of this message. I humbly request a letter of recommendation for my application. Could you please provide an update on the status of my order? We kindly ask you to complete the survey by the end of the week. Please do not hesitate to contact me if you have any questions. I would be thankful if you could approve my leave request. Could you please send me a copy of the final report? I respectfully request a formal meeting to discuss these issues. Please ensure that all forms are signed before submission. I would appreciate your prompt attention to this urgent matter. Could you please verify the details listed in the contract? We kindly request your presence at our upcoming charity gala. Please be so kind as to update my contact information in your system. I would be grateful for any advice you can offer on this topic. Could you please arrange for a replacement item to be sent? I respectfully ask that you reconsider my application. Please find the attached files and review them thoroughly. I would appreciate it if you could schedule a brief telephone call. Could you please issue a refund to my original payment method? We kindly request that you submit your proposal by Monday. Please acknowledge this email upon receiving it. I would be thankful if you could introduce me to the hearing manager. Could you please clarify the payment terms outlined in the agreement? I respectfully request an extension for the project deadline. Please advise me on the next steps in this process. Requesting someone's time or attention. Could I borrow a moment of your time? Would you be available for a quick meeting tomorrow? Can you please spare 5 minutes to help me with this? Could we schedule a time to chat later today? Would you mind giving me a moment of your undivided attention? Can I pull you aside for a brief conversation? Could you please let me know when you have a free moment? Would you be willing to sit down and discuss this with me? Can I steal you away from your desk for a quick question? Could you make some time in your schedule for us to talk? Would you mind looking over this when you have a second? Can you please focus on what I am saying for a minute? Could we pencil in a coffee chat for next Wednesday? Would it be possible to arrange a brief phone call this afternoon? Can I ask for your help whenever you have some downtime? Could you please step into my office when you are ready? Would you have time to look at my resume this weekend? Can you please give me a heads up when you are free to talk? Could I request 10 minutes of your time during the break? Would you be able to fit me into your busy schedule today? Can we take a quick pause to go over these details? Could you please stay behind for a few minutes after class? Would you mind joining me in the conference room briefly? Can I request a moment of silence so we can concentrate? Could you please give me a quick call when you get a chance? Would you have a window of time tomorrow morning to review this? Can we carve out some time to practice this presentation? Could you please let me know your availability for next week? Would you be open to grabbing lunch and talking about the project? Can I interrupt you very quickly to ask a simple question? Making urgent or emergency requests. Please help me with this as soon as possible. Could you quickly call an ambulance, please? I urgently need your assistance with this matter. Would you please hurry up and unlock the door? Can you please send help right away? Could you please move out of the way quickly? I respectfully request immediate medical attention. Would you mind calling the police for me, please? Can you please grab the fire extinguisher immediately? Could you please tell me where the emergency exit is right now? I urgently request that you stop the vehicle. Would you please contact my family as soon as you can? Can you please help me lift this heavy object off the floor? Could you quickly find a doctor for this passenger? I kindly ask that you evacuate the building immediately. Would you please rush this order to the kitchen? Can you please hold the elevator for me? Could you please turn off the main power switch right away? I need you to please call the fire department immediately. Would you mind helping me search for my lost child quickly? Can you please press the emergency stop button? Could you please back away from the edge carefully? I urgently need to use a telephone right now, please. Would you please help me bandage this wound quickly? Can you please bring me some water as fast as possible? Could you please sound the alarm to warn the others? I politely ask that you move your car out of the intersection immediately. Would you please guide us to a safe location quickly? Can you please stay with me until the paramedics arrive? Could you please hand me the emergency first aid kit right now?